I will be doing my report on Guangzhou. Guangzhou is a city in the province of Guangdong. The three big cities of China are Beijing, Shanghai, and the third biggest is Guangzhou. Guangzhou is also an important historical place in Chinese history. For example, Guangzhou is a city in the Guangdong province. Did you know Guangzhou was a place of importance? It was a part of what some people call the Silk Road. So it is basically a trade route. Now, if you had a picture of China, the upper part of Beijing would be right here, and the Silk Road would be here. And the Great Wall of China would be here. Beijing would be up here, and Mongolia would be up here. Why did the Chinese build the Great Wall? Because of the Silk Road right here. But under China, the round part of Hong Kong, near Hong Kong is Guangdong, and inside Guangdong, the city I'm going to be talking about will be Guangzhou. So the southern part with the round, I'm trying to mimic shape. Just try to imagine China right here and Vietnam right there. So Guangzhou would be near Vietnam, and Hong Kong would be near here on the sea, and then Taiwan would be here. Now, Guangzhou right here is part of the Silk Road. Now here in the Indian Ocean, near the Indian Ocean, the Indian Ocean is also part of the Silk Road. This is the upper part of the Silk Road, which brings into China, like Persian and in Arab or Arabic travelers or traders will go in the Silk Road and buy silk. Why is it called the Silk Road? Because it's a trade route that mostly commonly sells silk. Now, the process of trading now is first a factory makes products. Then step 2, the factory sends the products to a trading company. Step 3, the trading company sends the stuff to the same trading company the trading company will have another place in another country. So the trading company will send its products through a plane to that city, and in that city will be another trading company, and the other trading company is buying the things from the trading company that sending the stuff to the current trading company I'm talking about right now. And that trading company is gonna post the stuff on the web and sell it, or it will send it to the stores, and the stores will buy the products in small boxes, in the boxes and the products in their packaging, and they go into the stores. That's how some products and toys happen to get to a store. Now, now in old times, how would they trade? Peasants or villagers would make products, and when they make products, it would go to people in the government, and through people in the government, there's another government, and the people in the first government will trade with the person in the other government, and the people will trade and buy and sell things. That's what's called trading. Trading is basically I sell stuff to you, and you sell stuff to me. And right now, the U.S. and China the United States and China are trading actually a lot. All products I see says at the bottom or something says made in China. So that means, well, the United States and China are trading a lot. So, in the old times, that I will say again, villagers or peasants will create products. By tax paying, the government would get the products because of tax. Then in old times, because tax is not just money, it was also products. So the products got shipped to the government or the capital or the place where that or a governor or something, and that person in the government will talk to another person in another person's government, and they would trade stuff. So it's the same process with each country. And why is the Silk Road called the Silk Road? Is a lot of other people from other countries come to buy silk, and when they get it, they put it in the baskets or something, and then they go back home and sell them. So, but in old times, other countries didn't know how to make silk. The only country that had the methods and who made them were the Chinese. So silk was invented in China, and how it was made is silkworms. And silkworms are a special type of bug. They eat leaves, and then they spin out silk. And that silk and sometimes you might see caterpillars. Caterpillars make silk. That silk isn't strong enough. A lot of rich people in China, wear silk. And that's why it's a really precious type of fabric in Chinese history. And silk is special. Silk originally came from China, and did you know Guangzhou was a trading route area? So in the Silk Road, Guangzhou would be right here, Vietnam would be right here, and travelers and ships would come from Europe would be right here, ships down, and then comes here in the Indian Ocean. When they go trade, they have to go through to They will have to go through to Guangzhou, because Guangzhou, if you go in an airport, if you go in the airport and you want to go to this certain city, like you live for example, if you lived in Hong Kong, and then you wanted to take a vacation or a small trip, and you wanted to go to San Francisco, or Burlingame, if you wanted to go to Burlingame, you would have to go to the Hong Kong airport, and then you would have to fly to Burlingame. But you don't directly go to Burlingame, because Burlingame is in a really, really big city. It wouldn't have an airport. So you're going to have to fly, and then you're going to go to the San Francisco airport, and then take a taxi to go to Burlingame. So the process is like this. You go in a ship. In the ancient times, you go in the ship, go to Guangzhou, and then go to a place where they sell silk, buy the silk, go back home, and then sell the silk. the strategy is kind of similar to how we use it now. So, I'll tell you the facts. Here is Chinese in brush writing. I'm not really good at that, and this isn't really used a brush. I just kind of colored it with my pen to make it look like that, and this is the way you write it. This is traditional Chinese, not simplified. Simplified is just basically simple Chinese people write every day. And in ancient times, they had no such thing as simplified Chinese. They only had traditional. That's what's called traditional Chinese. It's, a tradition. Old ancient stuff. So this is the way. This is not really my best. I wrote this in regular pen, not really my best. I don't write Chinese that good in that way. That's is not really my best way. If you really saw my best way, it would look better. So this is Guangzhou in brush writing, and writing it like a brush, and this is my bonus fact, and I'm telling you the answer. What do they speak in Guangzhou? Is that a question? Yes. And what they speak in Guangzhou, the answer is Cantonese, is Cantonese. Well, in the old time, Guangzhou was mostly in English was mostly what people would say identified in English is Canton. That's what most people call it in English. So I happen to call it Guangzhou, which is how they say it in Chinese, Cantonese, and I do speak Cantonese, and I will tell you how to speak it in Cantonese. Guangzhou, Guangzhou. You say gong like so. Go like go. So it starts with a G, and you make it and the pronouncing is G. And the time. And did you know in the time how Guangzhou became a little bit more famous? Is the Han Dynasty. Dynasty is pronounced. Looks like Dynasty, and it is pronounced die like someone's dying. Ness like NUS. Dynasty like you say the letter T. Okay, so that's how you pronounce dynasty. And Guangzhou was mostly more. Guangzhou or Canton was mostly more effective in the Han Dynasty. When Guangzhou was recorded in the time when Guangzhou was started to get recorded in history. So, like someone that would write history books in ancient China, they would write a book, and the time when that started to happen, they said they would write, and the people who write history books in ancient China, the time when people started writing more about it and mentioning it was the Qin dynasty. Kind of sounds like Qin. And it is spelled Qin, not Chin. It's pronounced Chin, but it's actually spelled Qin. So that's the time when it was mostly recorded. It was recorded in history a lot and mentioned. And in the Han Dynasty, it was more effective and got it a little bit more famous. And it's actually like a pretty rich city. It's kind of more maybe a San Francisco-ish kind of city, but It's not really, well, rich or poor. Well, yeah, that's pretty much. And the gloss and that a dynasty is a special time period in history where, like, maybe a royal family or a group of people governed at that time. But on some dynasties, the royal family would pick another royal family, and then it would go on and go on. But for instance, one of my favorite dynasties, which was called the Tang Dynasty, is during the Tang Dynasty. Well, the Tang Dynasty is my favorite dynasty, and it's actually my last name. The symbol for for the word Tang is the same way you write it in my name. So the way you write my last name is the same way you write it. So the Chinese symbol way. So the way to write it in Chinese is the same way to write my last name. My last name uses the same symbol that the name of the Tang Dynasty uses. So the symbol for the Tang Dynasty is the same symbol my family uses for my last